So Lions struggled last week stopping Justin Fields in the run game. Does that mean anything as it pertains to stopping the NFL's leading rusher, Saquon Barkley?
I don't think it does. It's two different, it's a quarterback that sets up in what looks like a pass play, and then he can take off and go when the field's wide open because the back seven is out defending the pass, not defending the run. So it's different than when it's a running play and the offensive linemen fire out right away and everyone knows it's a run play and they can yell out run or whatever. So it's totally different.
It won't be a surprise if Saquon Barkley has a big day.
No.
Because the Lions are 31st against the run in the NFL. But it will, but I agree with you. It's a completely different skill set as it pertains to slowing down Saquon Barkley. Now, the Lions have the ball. Jared Goff had a 113.6 rating on the road in Chicago. Amon-Ra St. Brown was great against Chicago. The Giants gave up a huge passing total in terms of yards allowed to Davis Mills last week. But here's maybe the most critical matchup. The Giants are the heaviest blitzing team in the NFL. Can the offensive line, can the tight ends, can the running backs protect Jared Goff? When Jared Goff was under heavy duress in that New England game, he did not play particularly well. The Lions' offense got shut out. It was their worst performance of the year, and we were concerned that New England had found the key to slowing down the Detroit Lions offense, which leading up into that game was cruising. But Goff was sacked a couple times, threw an interception in that game. I believe he fumbled once or twice. Fumbled once on that fourth down play. Was that a fourth down play? Yeah. Anyway, the point is, okay, Chicago's going to try and pressure him. Can Detroit scheme up whatever's necessary? We like the personnel up front. It's the heaviest blitzing team in the NFL. Better find out a way to slow down that rush.
Yeah, it'd be great if they can do that. And the best way to slow down a pass rush is to have a running game. So it's going to be vitally important that DeAndre Swift is healthier this week than he was last week, so they can give him the ball more. I always like a short passing game using tight ends, and maybe they can target the tight ends more than just 3 or 4 times in the game. Or maybe it is we're going to go heavy with Amon-Ra St. Brown, and the routes aren't going to be 10 to 12 yard routes. They're going to be 5 to 7 yard routes, and just take it. Okay, it's 5 yards. I'll take it.
Now, the Giants' defense isn't great at everything. They give up 5.5 yards per carry. DeAndre Swift was back full practice yesterday, which is good news. Jamal Williams has been pretty good in his stead as a solid number 2 back, but at the end of the day, Swift is the dangerous guy. And if he's back to 100%, maybe he's not on a pitch count. And what did he have the ball? I think he was on the field for 10 plays 2 weeks ago, and was it 15 plays last week against Chicago?
15 or 16 plays. Yeah.
I would speculate, and I think it's solid to connect the dots here, that he'll be on the field more than that tomorrow if he's back to full practice. So, can the Lions run the ball against the Giants? Can they effectively hurt the pass rush by having a good run game?
Well, I think that they thought they were going to be able to run the ball each of the last couple of weeks as well, right? You look at the Packers' defense, run defense at the time, and, hey, maybe we can run against them. Well, they ran for 117 yards for less than 4 yards per carry, but they did utilize Jamal Williams. He carried it 24 times for 81 yards. It's not a great average, but in the end, it mattered because he was able to wear down the defense a little bit. Against the Bears, again, another team that you wouldn't have expected to be good against the run after they lost Roquan Smith in particular. The Lions, 31 carries, 95 yards, 3.1 per carry. But again, the end, they were able to get that first down at the end to really kind of change things for them, thanks to hard running from Jamal Williams. It's almost like a volume thing. Like they're still going to try to run the ball, even if they're not doing it effectively. The Lions are hoping that by the end of the game, those 2 and 3 yard gains or 1 and 2 yard gains turn into 4 to 5 yard gains or 5 and 6 yard gains.
I think they're going to run the ball this week, and I think the biggest thing is Williams is a decent back. And it sounds like an insult. I think he is average, maybe slightly above average, but he's an asset. You know, I don't want to discount him. Swift has the ability, has the skill set to be special. And when I saw it was full practice, full go yesterday, I'm like, all right, now's the time to lace up your shoes a little bit tighter, pull that chin strap a little bit tighter, and let's ride this horse. Like, let's get DeAndre Swift involved in the offense in a major way and ride out the season and see if he can handle it. And if he can't, then you probably don't have to extend the contract and move on. I mean, I think it's as much about testing that as it is taking advantage of the skill set.
Well, does it change your mind at all knowing it's a short week and you got to play on Thursday? And you do have another running back in Justin Jackson who's done well. I like how Justin Jackson runs. He runs hard. He runs north-south and falls forward. And he's got a little bit of speed. He's got a little. I can break tackles and get more out of it. I think it's still going to be a committee type thing. I don't think that they're going to just put the saddle on top of DeAndre Swift and say go for 20, 22, 25 carries. I don't think that's going to happen. But it is going to be, I would imagine, a game where the Lions running backs carry the ball 30 times. And hopefully it's more than 4 yards a carry on average, because then they can control the clock a little bit. But where the Lions have the advantage, is it the passing game?
They can protect Jared Goff.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that they have great receivers. I like Amon St. Brown a lot, but it's that Goff is good enough with this group of receivers.
Right.
Let alone what he had to start the season when they had more guys out there. But I guess I think that they've got an opportunity maybe to break away if they throw the football, but it depends on what the elements are. I mean, I don't know what it's supposed to be like in New Jersey on Sunday, but I don't imagine snow's going to be the factor, but is wind going to be a factor?
I think it's 38 and kind of windy, yeah.
So there are a lot of factors in there, but the number one thing you have to do, the number one game plan for me, regardless of offense and defense, is stop Saquon Barkley. That gives you opportunities to do everything else.
But don't underestimate, I know we talk Barkley for good reason. He's really come through this year after being injured. Daniel Jones, they do a lot of RPO. He can run.
Yeah,
as a quarterback,
he can run.
He can actually, he will tuck it and he will run. And so,
he'll tuck it?
Yeah, well, we went through a whole segment of duty free. You didn't even laugh. All right, so anyways, am I right? A lot of duty talk there.
Yeah. He's run for 307 yards already this year, and it's 5.5 yards a carry. And, it's already more yards than he ran for all of last year.
He's no Justin Fields.
Sorry, it's 387 yards
387,
this year.
yeah. He's no Justin Fields, but he can move. He's a quarterback that we've seen it.
He's
had
a
some
mobile
long-ass
quarterback,
runs in this league. So it's not just Barkley. We'll see this team and the fact that they usually have trouble with, like, Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields. We just saw mobile quarterbacks. So if throwing the ball isn't going to be in the game plan for either team, and it doesn't look like it's ever for the Giants because they have, like, no receivers. So we'll see. Stop the run, run the ball, right?
Yeah, and he's been sacked on average three times a game. So can the Lions pass rush get home when they need to get home?